So today's project, we're going to make a color wheel cupcake. So before we get started, I'm going to write my name. And my name is Miss Romeo on the top. And my class code. So 3 and then your letter. Flip it over. We're going to start in the middle of the page. I have a ruler here. So I'm going to take my ruler. Now, if you do not have a ruler, that is okay. You can use a piece of paper or you can make 2 dots. So let's make 1 dot. Start right here. Let's not go too up top. So we have top, middle, section. So you want to use, so top, middle. We're in the middle section. And move over here. And I'm drawing light with my pencil. Okay. So here is my dots. Now you can draw a line. So here is a line for my cupcake. If you have another piece of paper, you can do the same thing as well to make it as a ruler. So now I'm making different types of lines. So this line here was a horizon line. This is a diagonal line. Whatever we do on one side, we do on the other side. So that is my line. And now I'm going to draw a horizon line on the top. Now we have our cupcake bottom. Now we're going to do the icing of the cupcake. So my icing is going to look as if we have nice curved lines. And then we're going to bring the icing down. And then we're going to do another layer. And now each layer is going to get smaller and thinner. That's 2. This is 3. This is 4. 5. And 6. Now I'm going to draw a cherry. A cherry has a curved line, or the shape is a half circle with a point, with a curved line on the top. Now, for our cupcake, I'm going to draw diagonal lines throughout the cupcake. And I'm going to do one over here and another one over here. So you want to make sure that all of the cupcake has the lines. Now for my cupcake, if you drew it more towards up top or more towards the bottom, and you have a scissor at home, you could take your scissor, before you take a scissor, draw a line first and cut off the bottom. So that is what I'm going to do. And I want to make sure that this is even, so I'm going to erase it. And I'm going to go back and draw my line again. And that's okay. If you do not have a ruler, like I said again, you could take a piece of paper and draw the line. But if you do not want to do this step, I'm going to do this step so I don't have all this extra space. You don't have to do this step. Now, for my cupcake, I am going to outline the whole cupcake with black marker. I'm going to show you the outline when I'm complete. So I have outlined and cut the end of the paper. Now we're going to work on just the cupcake holder. And now I have 3 different supplies. I have a marker, color pencil, and a crayon. Now I'm going to use these 3. If you have either one of these, you could choose one, or if you have more supplies, you can use them all. That's up to you. So I'm going to start off with the crayon, and with the crayon, you're pressing down pretty hard, and the harder you press down, there will be less white spots. And I like to make sure I go back in the same areas. And you have a lot of crayon shavings, that is okay. Take the shavings and brush them off. Now I have my marker. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to color, and there is no white spots in my line. And then when you're done, I'll move on to the next one. And this one, same thing. So you want to make sure that each of your materials are colored dark. So if you hang your artwork up, you will be able to see the darkened lines. Now, I didn't mention this before, but you can use black crayon or a color pencil to outline, or brown, because cupcakes and muffins have chocolate in them, so you can use brown, or you can even use gray to outline as well. And I'm just doing the same thing, so it's a pattern. Now, if you just have one type of supply, like just crayons, then just use the purple crayon throughout the cupcake holder. And see, I'm turning my paper around to get nice, clean edges, which I like to do because I am a lefty. I'm left-handed. Now I'm going to clean my edges. Now I'm going to finish the rest of this off camera, and when we come back, we're going to work on the layers of the cupcake. So now I'm going to start using primary and secondary colors for my cupcake. So I have the first layer is going to be red. Now, you think, is red a primary or secondary color? Okay, the answer is primary. So we're starting off with a primary color. And see, I'm making sure that the red is going into the cupcake splatter on the side. Now, when you color, you want to outline first the inside, and then you want to color the inside. Now, I'm using markers. You can use any color material that you have. Okay, Now I'm going to move on to my second color. Orange. Is orange a primary or secondary color? Orange is a secondary color. And I'm just outlining. And I'm coloring the inside. Okay, so when you're done with orange, we are now moving on to a new color. The next color is yellow. Is yellow a primary or secondary color? Think about it. There's 3 primary and 3 secondary. If you said yellow is primary, you are correct. So I want to make sure that everything's outlined. This goes for any other materials such as crayons and colored pencils as well. Okay. So now we have 3 more layers. So we just did the warm colors. So we have 3 layers of warm colors. I wonder what these 3 layers are going to be. So we have this layer and our next color is green. Green is a cool color, but is it a primary or a secondary color? If you said secondary, you are correct. So secondary colors are colors that mix with the primary colors. So we have green here. And our next color that we are going to use is blue. Is blue a primary or secondary color? If you said primary, that is correct. And blue and yellow make green. And green is a secondary color. Now we have 1 more color left of our cupcake. Now we used all the colors of the rainbow so far, besides purple. Purple is a secondary color, and that's what we use for the bottom of our cupcake. And now we're going to use it for the top again. And red, which is a primary color, and blue create purple. Now I'm going to take my crayon box. I have crayons as well. I have multiple different supplies. I'm going to take my red and I'm going to color my cherry red. I'm going to make a circle with the red for the white spot. And I'm going to color around the circle. And sometimes cherries are bright and sometimes cherries are dark, depending on how ripe they are. Okay, so when you're done, now I'm going to use my crayons to create sprinkles and swirls for the backgrounds. So I'm going to still use the red, and I'm going to make different type of lines in my background. Okay, so I took red. I'm also going to use some yellow, which is also a primary color. If you see what I'm doing, you see that I'm using only my primary colors for the sprinkles right now. So here's my yellow, and the third primary color is blue. So here is the third color. And I want to finish off with just doing some couple more. Now this is the exciting part. Now we're going to add some swirls. Now for the swirls, I'm going to choose the secondary colors. So I'm going to do orange first. And I'm not going to do a lot, just around the areas that have some white spots to them. So the sprinkles are the primary colors and the swirls are the secondary colors. Okay, now I'm going to take my green and do the same thing. Some of them look like sixes, and some of them, especially the green, look like small snails. Okay. I'm going to take a purple color and put that in there as well. So purple is also a secondary color. So now our background has primary and secondary colors as well. So here is the finished projects of our cupcake. Our cupcake has primary and secondary colors. Red, primary, orange, secondary, yellow, primary, green, secondary, blue, primary, and last but not least, purple, which is secondary.